Food inflation, how bad is it?
Well, I think every Nigerian knows it's really, really bad. There are many factors that make it really bad. There are a lot of people who are not really adding value, from the producer. Sometimes you have up to 6-7 layers before it gets to the public market. It doesn't make sense.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the MinieMoney Show. Really, really excited to be here. And I'm actually most excited about the guest that we have today. Today, we want to look at the issue of food and food inflation. Now I know I've gotten your attention because everybody understands how important that is and how we have been affected by that. So today we have the founder and CEO of PricePally in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, Luther Lawoyi, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Congratulations on this podcast.
Thank you very much. So why has it been difficult to get you on here? You want your people to start. Why are you like this?
Yeah, it's work, man. It's work.
I can look, anytime I see or run through your post or we have to do anything on your platform, I just try to imagine that this guy is going through a lot.
Yeah.
How are you coping?
To be honest, I can't answer. There's no magic bullet. I just wake up every day and face the work. Then, there are a lot of people on the team, share responsibilities, make sure to just get the job done. It's really tough given this environment.
I actually saw you guys just went on a retreat.
Yeah.
Your team, you guys have grown.
Yeah.
How many are you guys now?
160 something, around 67 or so.
How many cities now?
4 cities.
All right. Just briefly tell people what PricePally is all about and what you guys do.
Yeah, PricePally is a digital platform that enables you access fresh and packaged food sourced directly from either the farmers or the wholesalers, or a big player in the supply chain system. Given the fact that our aim is to shorten that farm to table distance so that people get value for money. You can trust what you eat. You can get it at, a good price. And eventually the vision is to build an alternative smart food system for African cities. So we are gradually doing that. We are, building it up from scratch. It's a lot of work to do, but this is the 4th year in and, things are...
Sorry, guys, I don't want it to be like a tech podcast, but it's actually important because what it's doing is obviously solving a lot of pricing issues and affordability for people. Hence the name PricePally. But you mentioned something, farm to table. That sounded like, or it sounds like an interesting name as well. Did you guys ever consider that?
No. So
that just came off the top of your head, right?
No, so that's like a way to describe the model. So the closer you are to the producer, the better it is for everybody in the system. The better it is for the consumer.
Like you cut a lot of middlemen.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say cut. Well, that happens along. If you are in the ecosystem and there's no value you are bringing per se, then you are cut off. Because in the ecosystem, you have people who till today, people just take advantage of the gaps. They buy this now. They wait, for the consumers to come, spike up the price and pass it on. So they had no value. So for people like that in that ecosystem, definitely PricePally would take them out.
So they're sort of like creating like an arbitrage or something.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's all over the place. Yeah. So, our mission is to be able to connect that demand to the best possible supply and make it as quick as possible. So you get your things fresh. It's also a way to, help the climate issues that we have. I never used to believe in the climate change issue. Well, I used to hear it, but now, man, it's real. We lost money moving tomatoes from the north to Lagos because it was good from the north. It came from Jos, it was good. It was around December. So all the areas the tomato was traveling through, the weather was calm. It got to Lagos, the weather was super hot. And in those more minutes before it got to us, we lost quite a number of tomatoes. And that's climate change for you. That's a practical, what you can easily feel. There are other, aspects to it. So
All right,
It's a lot of
interesting.
things.
I don't want to go into the details
Yeah,
of
yeah.
your business. I don't want to bore some of our listeners with that detail.
Yeah.
I know it's very, very important, but our core focus right now is, as you know, finance,
Yeah.
money, financial literacy, how
Yeah.
people can live better, how we can get people like you to share your experience,
Yeah.
maybe personally in your business, what you do, and how we can make people better with
Yeah.
what they do with their money. So to now delve deeper, right, into your interaction and experience
Yeah.
with money as a young child. I don't know what your first interaction with money was like. I don't know what your upbringing with your parents and how it was like. What was your first interaction with, oh, this is value, this is money? How did it work out?
So I remember a couple of things way back. I think it was first with my mom. So my mom used to bake cakes, do confectionaries and supply to supermarkets.
Sorry, can we probably need to appreciate the mothers, right?
Yeah.
The first guest, Baba Jide Droshola, well done to you. It was almost the same thing,
Story, yeah.
right? It was his mom that was doing this, and it's his Mother's Day a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
So let's
yeah.
just take a few moments to appreciate the mothers out there.
That's needed. Yeah, so I remember very well. My mom would bake cakes and all that, and I would help her through the process. I had to. I was the last born. I was always up and down with her. I would go to the market together, mix the dough, do all those things. And eventually, when they pay her, I get a cut. Can't remember how much it was.
She was actually paying you?
Yeah.
Cash?
Yeah, I'll be able to keep it, save it, or use.
How were you saving it then?
I had a piggy bank. So
the wooden one.
Yeah, the wooden one, the clay one.
But that's changed now. We have MinieMoney, so
yeah, exactly. So sometimes I just used to buy things. I was I can remember that very clearly. I remember my cousins as well. When I go on holiday to their house, their parents used to pay them for cleaning the rooms. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for doing chores.
How many years ago was this? This is the
90s.
first person, you are the first person that will actually tell me a story about a parent paying a child for chores. And this is over 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. So my auntie, she would do that. And even she also used to bake. She used to make clothes and stuff. So whatever you help her with, she's going to give you something. And I really like that. Especially for the chores part. Ideally, you're supposed to do it. Nobody's supposed to pay you, but in their house, your mom would give you a tip, and so I'll quickly get my things done and get that money used to buy stuff. So I remember that as well. Well, the most the one that I can remember very well is my time in. I think I was in primary school or so. So I used to draw. I had talent to draw and all that. So I would make comics, and my friends would want to read it or want to borrow it or something, and they pay me for it. Then in secondary school as well.
By the way, we went to the same secondary school.
Yeah.
Well, this senior layer.
So then my friend, Introtech, assignments, I used to help them draw it. Now you either pay me in cash or pay
Do you
me
want to
with your
name names?
meat. Of course, yeah, you know all of them now.
Yeah, I want to be able to put them on blast.
Femi Osho.
I know Femi Osho will be the first one.
Yeah, so he had no talent at all to draw. So he used to laugh at himself that he can't draw a circle with a bottle top and all that. So
he can't even use a compass.
Yeah, so anyways, I used to do such assignments, and sometimes you pay me money, or we exchange your meat because we're in boarding house, right?
Provisions and all that.
So I used to get value for that. So I think some of those things really formed who I am today as an entrepreneur, especially my mom's part, because with her, I could go through the process of producing, of packaging, of everything, supplying. I was able to experience that whole gamut of of an entrepreneur, and I think thanks to that, it's part of who I am today.
It's quite interesting the way you're describing it and how you literally described what your business processes are today.
Yeah,
and I love that when I was trying to talk about you. Cutting off the middleman, and he said no, it's actually those that don't add value.
Yeah.
It's a value chain. So if you are not plugged in properly, then of what use are you? Which is very interesting.
I would say probably 60-70% of the players in that space today are arbitrage. Like, yeah, well, I don't have the data, but from my experience, there are a lot of people who are not like really adding value, from the producer. Sometimes you have up to 6-7 layers before it gets to the public market. It doesn't make sense.
So basically, 60-70% is what you are taking off of the final end user, the cost that should have been passed on to the final end user.
Depending on the product. So there are products, that different, I think the farther it is from the production to get to Lagos, for instance, the more exchanges it makes. There are some who would, to be able to make more money, they would be able to like move it directly from wherever it's coming from to Lagos. But they're also pricing at the price of people who who have multiple. So people are just trying to, and well, you can't blame them. It's the opportunity they see. But for something around food, I think we should be more responsible. We should be. I mean, that's the first needs of man, food. Yeah. If any country doesn't get food right, then what are we talking about? So to be able to like get that right, then we can build on. So that's why I'm saying that the people who are not adding value should, be taken out.
Okay, so let's really get into the conversation.
Yeah.
Food inflation, how bad is it?
Well, I think every Nigerian knows it's really, really bad. And there are many factors that make it really bad. Like a lot of the food items we consume has external factors that, really threaten the availability. You'll be shocked to know that whenever you have turkey, for instance, turkey price is up whenever the dollar is up.
Why is that?
Because you import your turkey, like almost all your turkey in Lagos that gets to Ijora or where else.
So, why is that? Explain why we have to import the turkey. Because the person
you are paying the turkey outside of Nigeria collects dollars.
So are you saying we don't have enough turkey?
No, you don't. You don't have enough turkey. You don't have enough chicken. The gap for chicken, you should ask them, this restaurant and co.
I heard Chicken Republic is it true? I don't know how true it is.
It's very true. They suffer to get chicken supply. And
the demand is there.
The demand is even very high. The problem again is that the production also is very difficult. It's very high because the production also depends on dollars. Like the feed these guys, buy the chicken, the chicks that you buy, it's all mostly imported or it has something to do with external factors that make it very difficult. So farmers here, can produce at a good price that would make these people buy volumes, or even when they are forced to, the volumes is a lot. I mean, it's little compared to to what you need. So there's a gap that is imported from your turkey to your chicken, protein.
So how much of this is population growth? Mm-hmm. How much of it is related to that?
Population growth.
Because the population of our country, because I don't know, maybe I didn't know, but I don't think we faced this while we were younger. Was it because we were not much, or was it because we were a bit self-sufficient, or how? Where did we get it wrong?
Well, I think, population definitely. There are more mouths to feed now. So, but I think our production didn't increase as the population. We didn't scale. We were supposed to scale. We are very dependent on other countries for imports. We're very dependent on imports when it comes to most of these items.
It can be. This is upsetting me that
it's upsetting.
So, but we can't feed a chicken or a turkey.
You can, but
we have to import what we feed them.
You have to import in some sense. You don't even have, like, the companies that produce. I don't know much about this, but I do know some companies produce this day-old chicks and all that people, give or take, they can't meet up the demand. Because another thing is to set up any business, not even agricultural business and all that. Right now, it's pretty tough. So when you look at the smallholder farmers or the people who are raising chicken and all that, they have factors of production that you can't calculate. Like, you don't know what will happen tomorrow. If I buy chicken feed tomorrow, if I stock chicken feed tomorrow, by next time I'm going to stock it, the price is gone up, or there's something, or it's not available, or several reasons, like things that don't make a lot of people produce in that sense. There are several reasons for it. There are people still there today that trying to like make it work and grind and all that. But we need, to me, in my opinion, on all food items, we need a large scale a large-scale mechanized
Farming.
farming. Yeah. So what we have today, for example, the question you asked, maybe before now, these smallholder farmers could feed the nation. I'm not taking anything from them, but the future, there's no future if you're still looking at smallholder farmers. You get all this, support from smallholder farmers, but the countries giving us those support. It's not smallholder farmers that gets them food sufficiency. It's mechanized, heavy operations that harvest is abundant. You get, but here you have small packets of farmers that you want to even the process of gathering them together, gathering their produce alone you waste time. You lose those food items because they are not, it takes time to even gather them together. Transportation of the food items alone adds up to anywhere between 25% to the cost of food, because most of the food is grown in the north, and rightly so, because the north has more potential, more
land space.
more land space. Even their lands are flat; they can use it for many things. So, but to move them, you have to get a truck, and they start
some will die on the road.
all sorts. So
The picture you're painting is not what I expected today. I actually feel a lot worse, and for somebody that, if you know me very well, I already feel bad about the situation. But now, it just feels like, painting the picture. I don't know, maybe I should have asked you that question, because now I asked you a question that I don't want the answer for. Really. So that is chicken.
Yeah, that's just chicken.
How about all the other products? Tomatoes, rice. How?
So it's the same thing with rice, right? The volume we consume in this country, when they shut down, when they shut the borders and all that, you saw the effect of that on rice. Until today, the rice hasn't recovered. You still have rice in the regions of 60,000, 70,000 naira. As at 2 years ago, the same price was at 40,000, 30,000, just 2 years back. So that's more than doubled. In fact, last year, around probably mid of the year, we're still selling bags of rice at 40-something K, or 30 to 40-something K. By the end of that year, it was at 70. At some point, it was at 80,000 naira for a bag of rice. And it's simple demand and supply issues, and some arbitrage as well. So you have people in the market that, once they hear that, there's not enough supply, when they see that people are rushing an item, just jack up the price. So there's no, number one thing that we could, how do I start from? So regulation, right? To an extent, there should be some regulation in the food system, but there's none. So people take advantage of whatever they want to do.
What kind of regulation are we talking about?
So if, for instance, the government knows what's coming in terms of volume, they can advise on the price range. You just give a price range.
The government should regulate pricing?
At this point, it would help. There are countries
short term?
Yeah, it will help short term. There are countries that do that. The Ghana, for instance, they have Nigeria used to have that body too. Yeah, they have that body that, looks at the volume that comes in, advises on it's an advice, right? So that advice pushes sellers to kind of want to be in that range. So if you're out that range, you'll be forced to at least come into that range. It's not like they're forcing you to, buy at a price or sell at a price. But
so
at
it's
that
not
price,
compelling, so it's not like no form of enforcement to it.
No form of enforcement to it, but because everybody is looking at that, I've forgotten, something board or something.
A price control board or something.
Yeah, something
like
similar. So they advise, and people are able to make sense of price and get to a range. But in Nigeria, there's nothing like that. So you can get somebody who's selling a bag of rice at 40,000, somebody's selling it at 70,000, and and they're probably in the same area, got it from the same place, things like that. I'm only saying, I'm not for that. I'm not for government controlling pricing. But Nigeria has come to a point where there should be some level till maybe we get it right. Because Nigeria's problem is not actually that there are no entrepreneurs to solve the problem, or there's no lands to do it. It's just because there are several issues that need to be fixed. And while you are doing that, where things are hard, they should be able to at least
a lot of people are going to come for you for saying government should intervene in price control.
No, well,
especially when it comes to private business.
Not control.
Advisory,
especially with food. Yeah, basic food.
So I need to get a bit of. Hopefully, this question will not even put me into a deeper depression. Is there any food item?
Yeah.
That we control from end to end, the value chain that we control, for end to end. Not fully controlled,
What do
but
you mean control? Like it's produced here and it's sold here.
I'm not even talking about the sale. You know the way you talked about chicken, what they eat. Sometimes you have
Yeah.
to import them. What are the things that we know we grow here, right? We're able to complete all the process, and then we get it to the end user without the need for any external influence.
Well, I would assume so, but you do have a situation where even the seeds that you plant are not
From here.
Yeah, they are. So tomatoes, for instance, you cannot. There's no local. To the best of my knowledge, there's no locally formulated seed that will give
That's
you
where
good
companies like
results.
Monsanto, where they make money from.
Yeah. So there are people that control that, but I'm sure you have all this. So there are the local pepper, atarodo and stuff. There might probably be species that are really grown here. There's this Yoruba pepper, Yoruba tomato that's like long. I'm not sure if it's a locally, formulated seed, but I don't
So
see
nothing is
types of
fresh
it.
anymore, basically.
They're fresh now. There's nothing that's not
I
fresh.
mean, the seeds are chemically induced, I believe.
No, no. So there's GMO, there's hybrid, and there's a difference. So for hybrids, for instance, they are like you have a gene in a particular plant that's making sense. That, let's say pawpaw, for instance, there are short pawpaws now that grow within a couple of weeks or even months. So there are short pawpaw breeds that are short. There are some that have big seeds. So what you do is take the gene that's making that one short, take the seeds that are making it, put it together, get a better seed. So it's good. It's not like, the ones that I'm not personally clear about and people usually will raise eyebrows is GMOs and all these things. And Nigeria recently signed pacts with that. So I don't know how that goes, but if it's going to solve the food problem, maybe they should go ahead. But, everybody's skeptical about that because what we heard in Brazil, in some other countries where they were forced to use that and some of their lands are not producing anymore. It's just, I don't know if it's, conspiracy theory and all of that, but people are not very comfortable. But hybrid seeds they've always been. That's what we've been using ever since. But the problem is that we don't have ours. So many countries we have all these research centers that are no longer doing that. They used to do it in the 80s, from what I learned. They had seeds. There's a chicken type that was formulated, I think, at NISA or so in Ibadan. There's one of these government, I can't remember the detail, but we have a chicken that was, put together locally that, it was formulated here, and the chicken is part of what goes in market or something today. I'm not sure of the detail, but that's like where we're supposed to have been, ahead of, and there's still time for, we can still do that. We just need to get the University of Abeokuta, Agriculture Abeokuta, we're trying to like work with them, and I'm impressed at the level of research, the level of work that they've done on so many things. But that doesn't come to light. Nobody commercializes it, things like that. So Nigeria just has a bunch of, problems. Yeah.
Okay. Did you see this coming? Did you see that this was going to be bad? And if you did, what were the things that you saw that just made you realize that?
You mean before starting PricePally?
No. I'm talking about the situation that we have.
Yeah.
In terms of food inflation and all that. Did you see it coming?
Yeah, definitely.
How long ago? What were the things that you saw?
So every year there's, there are signs.
I think you guys always release
price index.
Price index.
Tomato price. Stew price index. Things like that. So everything points to it. Like, I hope the interventions the current administration is making.
Do you think is in the right direction?
Oh yeah, of course. Like the basic things like plant something in the ground and make it grow. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, so I've read about some interventions regarding that, especially with some states in the north. I think Niger State and SCO, and they brought some mechanized, machinery and all that. Hopefully that would impact, the harvest that we have in the coming months. I also saw the Honorable Minister Tubosun, like the Minister of, I saw a post on X, and on a very big farmland, and they're trying to like break ground for plantation and all that. I think that's in Ogun State. So all those kind of interventions are very needed. Large scale farming at mechanized and all that can bring about self-sufficiency when it comes to food. It's definitely a welcome idea, and I hope and I pray success for them, because things going on now is not funny at all. Like the price of food I've seen.
I don't know about prayers, because prayer, I mean, as a Christian, yes, but if you are looking at holistically for the total country, some people don't. They are not Christians. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in all kinds of things. And you tell them, "Oh, I'm praying." Are you seeing something?
Yeah.
Right. That this. So I don't always want to go into the political realm. But there's no way we can take away government policies from some of the things that is going on, either for or against, right? So, in the first instance, what are the policies that you saw from the government side of things that has made this whole thing worse?
Worse?
Yes, first worse.
Yeah. Well, so
I want us to talk government, and then I now want to talk about citizens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So worse. So, I mean, it's hard to like blame the government, especially for this, dollar thing, but that definitely affected.
Okay.
The removal of fuel subsidy as well. Those things are needed, in my opinion. Like we needed to do that. From everything we heard, how terrible things are now, and when it comes to the oil and price fixing and things like that.
And when I'm talking about government, I'm not just talking about this administration. I'm saying generally.
Yeah, sure. I'm talking generally. Yeah. So the fact that those things directly affect food in the country. We are not self-sufficient yet, so many of the things we rely on other people. So those effects have rapid effects on food prices, especially fuel. When there's fuel, even if it's just fuel shortage, it's not like they increase price. The price of food increases because it takes money. Fuel to get your food to. So when the fuel price, whatever the regulation happened, that affected food prices, and that has made food prices stay and not come down. Even when production or it's possible for it to reduce prices, Nigerians wouldn't, for many reasons. So I think most of those things happen together at the same time, and
how about the closure of the border?
Yeah, that was that too as well. Yes,
ban
on some food items.
Yes.
But it's very hard to critique the government, right? Because they gave you reasons why they closed border. If I were the president then, I wouldn't close the border because we're not producing enough. To be. Yeah, but
there are reasons for people.
Yeah, the idea was things. That. Yeah, the idea was that forces us to grow. So shortening shortening the borders was just a heavy toll, especially on things like rice. Now rice is not a common food, and that's ridiculous.
So people don't eat rice anymore,
dude. People are making hard choices when it comes to food. Some, maybe you are not because, you are paid.
No. I've actually even stopped eating rice.
So, well, there are eggs, for instance. Before now, eggs were not too pricey. People could afford it. Like you buy Indomie, you buy one egg. You eat. Yeah. To buy one egg now.
Even Indomie is...
Yeah. So, it's a lot of things. But I'm sure that when these new policies, like things that they are doing now, comes to fruition, and also this is forcing Nigerians to look deeper to, a couple of years from now, I believe that we should be in a better position. We should be in a better position.
Have you tried lobbying to sort of like have a seat at the table to just at least get your voice heard?
Yeah.
I don't know the data. I use PricePally a lot. I know a lot of people that uses PricePally, and that is some data that they don't have, right? As to regards to what consumption rate was like, how people were, consumer behavior generally, right? So, we can sit at the back of a mic, sit at the back of our desk, or in front of our TV at home and just do so many talking.
Yeah.
But what are the things that we can actually do? Because if they don't know, are you actually trying to lobby to sort of get your voice heard? I love what you guys are doing with the price index. I don't know if it gets to the right people, right? But what else are you doing to make sure that some of the things that you guys are doing gets to the
Yeah,
people in authority?
yeah, at the state level, we do have a relationship with the Lagos state government. In fact, we were invited by the Commissioner of Agriculture. I think
That's
she's doing a
interesting.
great job. Yeah, so we do liaise with them. We do, have meetings with them.
Do you have
on what
anything
we
to
should
do with the partnership that they're doing with Kebbi State in terms of rice? And I think they
Yes.
want to do one with Niger too.
Yes,
Is it rice
Niger.
as well with Niger?
Yeah, and tomatoes, vegetables as
Okay,
well.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in that conversation as
And
well.
then how about the markets? What's the they have this what's this Lagos State thing that they're doing?
Yeah.
Where they
The
have
open
markets,
markets,
open
where people
markets.
buy.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we're in the,
it's very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. We're supposed to have one PricePally.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still in the works with them as well. So we do have a relationship with them, and I like the direction of the commissioner. I'm usually not a fan of working with governments and things like that, but with her, you could see the genuineness of her actions, of what she wants to. Really wants to change the game. She brings together very solid guys in the space to ask them questions to find out what best to do, and I think it's working. Especially at the grassroots level, but there's a lot to do, and she's also aware of that. And they're pushing with this, partnerships with these governments and all. Once those things come to fruition again, you should see some effect of that. Yeah, so we can't do that. Our plan is to continue with the data gathering that we do and deepen that enough. So in a couple of more years, we can bring out, across the cities that we serve, we can bring out insights as to what's possible. The model we run is something that can solve Nigeria's problem in that sense, but you have to digitize quite a lot of your processes. So at PricePally now, I can tell you what volume of tomatoes we need by December. I can tell you
On your platform or generally in the country?
no, on my platform,
Okay.
like people who come on the platform.
platform.
Yeah, the amount of how we grow, things like that. I can.
So that even helps you to sort of
Yeah, so
prepare
we plan
for
ahead. Yeah, so we're able to farm ahead. We're able to contract a farmer ahead that look, buy this. Grow this for us.
Does that help with pricing as
Oh,
well?
of course, yeah. So what we need to get to is to be deeper with the farmers. Right now, we have some of them that are contract farmers, but eventually, I think we just need to provide them, what they need to produce, because we've seen that in a way to contract them and all that, there's still some gaps. There are young people in this country, and that's one other thing about this country. There are actually not many young people want to go into farming, but there are actually some young people in this country that are very well educated. They know what they're doing. They want to be millionaires being a farmer. And those are the kind of guys you need that will drive large scale and all that. And we want to be able to work with them to provide them that. But what they lack is infrastructure. If we're able to provide them that infrastructure, then they're planting ahead for us, then we can definitely do a lot better than what we are doing right now. Hopefully that comes true very soon so that people are able to, because our vision is to build our alternative food system. We eventually need to find ways to be independent of the current structure, that we are plugged into. So
Yeah, that's very interesting. We've sort of touched on some of the policies, government and all that.
yeah,
As individuals, right? I like that we talk about things that we can control.
yeah,
There's so many things you can't control. You can't. You might not have voted for the current governor, current president, but that is
your reality.
is not. But what can you control by yourself? I can remember when we were growing up, we used to do a lot of small scale farming. I used to plant corn
yeah,
beside our house, and the corn will grow,
Yeah.
and you go and take that
Pluck
corn
it,
when
yeah.
the season to boil it.
Yeah.
The same thing with mango, almond fruit, all those things. We used to have it in those our different localities.
yeah.
Right. So I don't know, what is it? What can we do as individuals, as nuclear families, compound families, that can make us self-sustainable? And I need you to look at it from a standpoint of an urban city,
Yeah,
like
so-
Lagos, and then a more like a rural area or less urban.
Yeah, to
city.
do that in Lagos would be bloody expensive. The land that you want to plant corn for your family and all that is probably worth more than.
The land, are they good for? So I don't know.
Yeah, there's farming in Lagos. Yeah,
So what I'm talking about now is, from my own experience, where we live, there's a small land. Put something. It's not
If you can afford it, yeah.
No, it's not for
commercialization.
commercial
Okay,
consumption,
for
just
families,
for
yeah.
my family.
I've seen. I actually know an entrepreneur who pushes that kind of, I think, grow in your house, where you have different like modular sets of
Yeah.
tires and stuff that they use to plant. Yeah, if you can do that, it's good.
Do you
Like,
think that can work at scale in terms of
Yeah.
there's a model that has worked in this house, then you can replicate in several homes?
so
I just want to look
depending
at
on the city, right? It's very hard to get that scaled up in Lagos. It's very hard to the practicality of it in Lagos, given the lifestyle and the kind of work that's predominant. It will be challenging. But if you're looking at Ogun State or your state, where there's calmness and it's not too urban in that sense. Well, I wouldn't say too urban. It's not too many activities compared to Lagos. It's possible. It's advisable. If you're able to do that, it saves you money. Like if you plant 100 tubers or say 50 tubers of yam, you can be sufficient for months. When it comes to yam, a tuber of yam now, good yam is heading towards 5K. I swear down.
Oh my
I'm
God.
telling you. Well, it depends. Like there's this particular yam that comes from, can't remember this area now in Nigeria. So customers like it. It's white. It's good and all that. And I think maybe
I think
because
that's the
it's
one we are eating in our house.
Yeah,
because I think
probably.
I've seen the white one. Very,
yeah,
very,
very
good. Yeah.
good. Yeah, so I can't remember the name of the yam now. So the price now is crazy. Like I'm always like, dude, is it because we are buying for buying volumes? But we tried out other sources and all that. That's the case now. Like things are going more expensive, and if you plant that in your house and you can, it helps.
I hope that people are listening, and I don't know if that is helpful because, especially in a state like Lagos, if you are living on the island, there is really no place you can plant
Yeah.
yam, no place you can plant corn, no place you can plant all these things.
One
But
thing
what
you
can
can
we? What can people do
Yeah, eat
if
what's
you
in,
don't have something like that?
yeah, eat what's in season. So that helps in the sense that if an item is in season, the price, it's at least on PricePally, it's a lot better. It's when it's off season that prices go really
How about
well.
those I don't know items that are in season? Do you guys have a
Yeah.
a
So
guide?
on the platform, you see, well, we're building a new platform now too. You'll be able to see a green dot that shows you this in season. You'll be able to see something at off
About
season.
will you be able to tell people what is about to be in season so you can?
Yeah, we have plans for that, but that won't be right now. So it helps with the pricing drops at that point. When those things are in season, if you buy bulk of it, if you're able to store it over a period of time, you'll be able to like save yourself. Like for instance, if you bought like baskets of tomatoes since January, a basket of tomato went as low as 20 something thousand. Now it's more than double. And it will continue like that until probably October. But people don't know. People just check the plan and say, this tomato is high. But
So-
that's the reality.
I hope that the new platform will come with current price and give advice as to what
When-
it might
might
be
in the
in a
future.
few, right?
Yeah.
So you can quickly stock up.
Yeah. So thanks. We are actually looking at that. So the design is there, but it's not coming up in this. So we are launching a new platform this month. So we'll be iterating it and improving that. So we figured that education is necessary because Nigerians don't know when things are in season and they don't know the effects of it. So in Nigeria, we don't produce all year round. So we are limited to all sorts of factors. So seasonality, yeah, which is terrible. Like
And then even insecurity, all those things.
we can't even start counting. So, that alone can save you money if you buy, when things are in season and you can keep and stock. At least it will save you some money because what happens in Nigeria is the prices don't go up gradually. It's always a spike. Like if it's something happens now, it's a spike. It's a 20% spike, 30% spike, 50% spike. Last year we saw a 100% spike.
Do you guys have like
Price.
notifications to alert people? Because I think there was a time when there was flood
Yeah.
somewhere.
Rice.
Yeah, rice.
Yeah.
And then I just happened to I saw it that this prices of maybe rice will go up. That it's
Yeah.
better for you to buy. Do you guys have that kind of thing that sort of alerts people?
Yeah, so we've gathered a lot of data over time. So right now we're trying to like put all those things in place that can, predict pricing, that can predict seasonalities, that can predict, some of them are easy to do, but pricing sometimes not very easy to do. But the seasonality type, we have a protocol for each food item. So each food item's protocol tells you when it's a season, where it's growing in Nigeria, where it's the well, we don't know the volumes expected. In future, that can be included. So there are a lot of things we are planning with the data that would be, some of them will be for consumers to learn, some of them will be for us for strategy, some of us will be for advisory to governments and stuff. So yeah.
So I mean, I had to go into all this not just because I just want people to be able to take away some things from this conversation. It looks like we are talking a lot about your business, but it's because I just believe that some of the things or some of the features you guys have or can build will be able to help people in future.
Sure.
Because that is the whole essence of this thing.
Yeah.
You are not a farmer, right? But you have to eat.
Yeah.
And you are going to be affected if the prices go up or whichever way it goes.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I wanted us to have this conversation. So, I mean, well done to what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Now, on the final notes,
Yeah.
I guess it's always fluctuating. I don't know what percentage people spend of their income people spend on food. The last thing I saw was like close to 60%. I don't know how true that is.
So that data is based on, the World Food Program and a couple of other international bodies. Locally, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, their reports kind of link to those foreign bodies. So the last I read, which was like probably 3-4 years ago by FAO or so, was around 60%. Before that, it was at 40-something%, was at 60% as at then. But I dare to say that it's probably like 70% today.
Now.
Yeah, because the way prices have really gone up on almost every food item compared to the earning power of Nigerians. Nigerians are probably spending a lot more on food these days. So there's some people that are gradually being taken out of that bracket to be able to get good food.
All right. As we round up, we have this thing that we always do.
Okay.
Luxury or not.
Oh.
Right. So I say something, you tell me if it's luxury or not.
Okay.
And I've kept this within your space, food.
Oh, okay.
So I hope this is going to be really, really interesting. So the first one is 3 meals per day. Luxury or not?
In Nigeria today, it's luxury.
But they told us to have 3 square meals now. What do you want us to do?
I don't know. It's not. I mean, I personally take like 2 meals a day.
That's your choice.
That's my choice. Yeah. But today, if you can afford to eat twice a day, you probably won't change anything. That mentality that you have to eat 3 times a day, I'm not sure.
Do you think it's age? Because can you tell your child not to eat 3?
Oh, sure, definitely.
So
definitely.
do you still
No, it's not.
luxury?
It shouldn't be luxury. I'm just looking at the conditions
that we have in today.
Yeah, it's not luxury.
All right, the next one, balanced diet.
That's not luxury now. You have to have balance.
Balanced diet?
Yeah,
what's the definition of balanced diet in today's country that we live in?
Nutritious food that provides you all the essentials that you need.
So it's not luxury.
It's not supposed to be luxury.
No. I don't know what's supposed to.
If you don't
is it luxury or no? In today's economic indices?
It's not.
It's still not luxury.
Find a way to eat balanced diet, especially for kids. People, you grow up, you end up with
find a way to eat balanced diet every day.
Yeah. So
don't
balanced
worry.
diet is your carbs, your proteins. Try and have
I'm
those
going
things.
to get you.
Okay.
Next one is 1 egg per day.
Man. Are we looking at the condition of the country?
Yeah, that's what we are looking at.
It shouldn't be luxury, but
I like your choice of what you just keep saying shouldn't be. Is it luxury or not? Today's economy.
Now an egg is like what? Well,
is it 200 or what's an egg now?
250. So if you're eating that 7 times a,
1/4 times 4 weeks.
Yeah. Well, it's not luxury.
It's not.
It's not. You should. If you can, you should.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fruits daily.
Yeah. If you are taking fruits in season, it's not luxury.
I'm saying daily. I didn't say in season.
Yeah, it depends on the fruits now. So, if you have local fruits, they are not that expensive. But
I need you to look.
If you're having grapes, for instance, that's luxury in Nigeria today. Grapes. They are imported.
Grapes, so I don't know.
Yeah, they are imported. They are bloody expensive. So if that's your choice of fruits, it's expensive, and it's luxury. But if you are eating, say, orange when it's a season in Nigeria, it's not a big deal.
All right.
Yeah.
Dispenser water.
The economics of water, I was looking into that recently. At some point, I thought it paid me to buy dispenser water compared to bottled water. But I don't know. I think, is it that the volume of dispenser water is now changed or something because it goes out fast?
Fast.
Or maybe it's because the way people just press it and it
How many
wastes
do you
and all
think?
that.
How many do you take in your house, like a day or
I
per
think
week?
we do 2 weeks. We do 2 in a week at least.
2 in a week.
Yeah,
I
plus
do
bottles.
4
Yeah, plus bottles.
bottled water.
Yeah.
Yeah, a big boy. So I can't even ask you bottled water then.
You can't what?
I can't ask you if bottled water is luxury. Or
With water now. It shouldn't be luxury, but
bottled water. There is
Yeah.
tap water. There is pure water.
there's pure
We've not even
water.
talked about pure water.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
All right. Eating out monthly, once a month.
Yeah, I should have that experience. Shouldn't be luxury.
This man is just
shouldn't
saying
be
that
luxury.
experience. How can you say you keep saying it
If you
shouldn't
say,
be
if,
luxury?
I mean, I thought you were going to say eating out regularly, then
No,
that's luxury.
monthly.
Monthly, once a month.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well,
How many average Nigerian can eat out once a month?
man, it depends on where you're eating out. So I would say it's not. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Anyways, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
I guess it was worth the wait.
Yep.
I hope everybody watching will have learned a thing or two about food. Food inflation, we've touched on a lot of things, especially trying to eat in season, trying to sort of like forecast. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
So much, Mr. Luther.
Thank you.
See you guys next episode. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and always remember, gossip sells, but money pays. Thank you.